Dear learners, welcome to UGC MOOC on Tourism Planning and Sustainable Development. Our topic would be Tourism and 5 years plans in India. The learning objectives of this topic will be to understand the meaning of 5 years plans, to know about all the 5 years plans till date and their contribution in the development of the tourism, to know about the various reasons for making 5 years plans. Let's start the topic. The Indian tourism and hospitality industry has been growing as one of the major industry in India. It is motivating the progress rate of service industry in India. Tourism in India has recorded unprecedented growth in the past years, and surely India has an incredible perspective to become one of the best and top tourist destination across the globe. There has been steady rise in the number of tourist arrivals, whether it is the increase in the number of foreign tourist arrival or the Indian tourists travelling within the country. And this growth of Indian tourism market has also benefited the several other linked industries such as the aviation industry, medical industry and hotel industry. The major part of tourism has been in the economic development of a country, as it is the second biggest foreign exchange earner for our country. Tourism industry also gives a large number of employment to the people of the country, both skilled and non-skilled. The Department of Tourism also has its own national institutes for imparting the training like IITTM, Indian Institute of Tourism and Travel Management, delivering professionally trained personnel to the industry. The National Council for Hotel Management and Catering Technology also falls under the Ministry of Tourism, which controls academic activities in the arena of the hospitality education and training. Now, what is the meaning of 5-year plans? From the year of independence 1947 to the current years, Indian economy gave emphasis on the concept of planning. This work was done by the planning commissions from 1950 to 2014. It was changed with the concern of doing assessment of all the assets of the nation, supplementing scarce resources, framing plans for effectual and balanced application of resources and determining premises, and also had the responsibility to give 5-year plans, which led to effective and balanced utilization of resources. On 1st January 2015, it was succeeded by another organization, Niti Aayog. Shri Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India, is ex officio chairperson of Niti Aayog. This organization is also known as think tank of the Government of India and gives both steering and strategy. Let's take an overlook of these 5 years plans. In the first 5-year plan from 1951 to 56, there were no rules and regulation or provisions specific for tourism. India had just received her independence and the significant areas for development differed a great deal from what they are today. During those times, tourism had not yet recognized itself as a separate body. The subject of tourism was taken care by Ministry of Transport under an individual division formed in 1949. There was no independent ministry for tourism in India. The second 5-year plan provided an outlay of 336.38 lakhs to tourism sector. This was the first time when funds were set aside separately for the tourism development in the country. The funds were allocated for both state and central plans. The major focus was on developing transport sector and accommodation facilities at major tourist destinations throughout the country. The idea was to augment and improve recreational facilities at such centers. When the third five-year plan was launched, it was realized that the tourism could be used as an instrument for growth and development. And this was reflected by the flow of international tourist arrival to India, which was 6 times over the last decade. For example, 17,000 in 1952, 1,23,000 in 1960. Similarly, there was an increase in the number of foreign exchange from 4 crore to 29 crore in 1960. Therefore, the amount allocated in the third five-year plan was 800 lakhs, almost double to the second five-year plan. Now, the fourth five-year plan document identified tourism as an important medium or tool for earning foreign exchange, and that there was a huge scope for the generating more job opportunities and increasing the level of income for the local communities. The fourth five-year plan predicted the development of declination traffic and that there should be rules and regulation for controlling the tourist traffic at various destinations. The major focus in this plan was on the development of accommodations, transportation and recreational facilities. Also, efforts should be made in tourist destinations where the flow of tourists was huge. The amount of money allocated in the fourth five-year plan was increased to 36 crore from 8 crore in the third five-year plan. From the total allotment, rupees 25 crores were meant for the central program, while remaining 11 crores for the state or UTs. Fifth five-year plan, during the launch of this plan, tourism was established as an important means for development in the country. With the view of the future development of tourism, the fifth five-year plan focused on the investment on following aspects: increase the facilities of transportation and accommodation for the rise in the movement of international tourists, integrated development of selected areas or circuits with a view to split the tourist traffic covering the various regions or areas of the country. The focus should be on tourism promotion at global level of the selected destinations like Kovalam, Kullu Manali, Goa, Gulmarg, etc. and certain archaeological centers of the importance, wildlife and national parks. Funds for publicity and promotion abroad were allocated. Total amount of funds allocated for tourism in the fifth five-year plan were rupees 133 crore, out of which rupees 78 crore were for central sector and rest 55 crores were for the states and the union territories. The sixth five-year plan was launched in the year 1990. At that time, there was a huge amount of tourist movement in the country, both at domestic and international level. It gave great economic and social benefits to the country. The total amount allocated for tourism during sixth five-year plan was 187 crore, out of which 115 was state sector and 72 crores were allocated for the central sector. Significant efforts were also made to increase the carrying capacity of Indian Airlines and development of the airport infrastructure. The main objectives for growth of tourism and development in 7th 5-year plan were like faster development of tourism to achieve 7% of annual growth. This was a big target. Tourism to acquire a status of industry. Exploring the tourism potential to support local handicrafts and other creative arts. Diversification of tourism products such as wildlife, adventure, beach resort, winter resorts, etc. Restoration and preservation of national heritage products. Developments of human resource management in the tourism sector with the help of IITTM and 15 new food craft institutes in India. In order to focus more on tourism development, rupees 326 crore was allocated in the 7th 5-year plan. Due to some political issue, the 8th 5-year plan could not be launched on time. So, by the time 8th 5-year plan, tourism has become an emerged segment of the Indian economy. The status of industry was accorded to the tourism in 15 states and 3 union territories. It was a big achievement. The 8th 5-year plan suggested the following points for the development of the tourism. Like a tourism development fund to be created to provide financial assistance in the special tourism area, tourism marketing and promotion globally for the development of the hygienic and inexpensive accommodation, government to make significant efforts. Tourism development to be linked to anti-poverty and rural development. The total amount allocated in the 8th 5-year plan was rupees 270 crore rupees for the central sector and rupees 501 crore for the state or union territory. So it was a big jump. In the 9th 5-year plan, with the view on expenditure incurred on the tourism projects in the 8th 5-year plan and the never-ending phenomena of the tourism, there was a need of rupees 6,397 crore during the 9th plan period for the tourism. However, the Department of Tourism proposed rupees 5,370 crore for the 9th plan. The Planning Commission approved sum of 511 crores, which was later reduced to 485 crores. The focus of the tourism department was on product development, which would appeal everyone and is economical in price. The 10th 5-year plan coincided with the National Tourism Policy 2002, but the approach used in the 10th 5-year plan was altogether different from last 5-year plans. It focused on tourism status at the global level and the global trends affecting the tourism. The plan including the long-haul travel to neighboring countries, rural and ethnic tourism, wellness and health holidays, senior citizen tourism, ecotourism, sports tourism and adventure tourism. The 10th plan aims at the following points. Brand image as a major engine for the economic growth of the nation. Controlling the multiplier effect of the tourism for employment generation, fiscal and rural development. Domestic tourism to be given more preference. Target to expand international tourism. The working group of the Planning Commission had declared a requirement of 5,586 crore during the 10th 5-year plan for the development and the promotion of tourism in the country. However, Department of Tourism demanded for an allocation of 5,500 crores from the Planning Commission, and in turn they got an amount of 2,900 crores for the tourism sector. During the 11th 5-year plan, Ministry of Tourism has approved an amount of 3,112.71 crore for 991 tourism infrastructure assignments, including rural tourism and human resource development projects. The Ministry of Tourism held meetings with the states and UTs to find out the sources for funds for these tourism projects. And priority was given to projects involving construction, upkeep of wayside amenities, along with highway roads leading to tourist destination, cleanliness at the tourism sites, projects in backward areas, etc. Out of the total plan outlay, 2.5% was reserved by Ministry of Tourism for tourism development in tribal areas. During 11th plan, Ministry of Tourism sanctioned a plan outlay of rupees 5,156 crore, out of which an outlay of 4,003 crore was allocated during the first 4 years of the plan. Ministry was able to utilize 99.23% of the total allocation during the first 4 years of the plan. Dear learners, let's summarize this topic. From the year 1947 to 2017, the Indian economy has been going through the development phase. In order to improve the quality of development of different industries, the economy has been going through 5-year plans formulated by a planning commission. Similarly, tourism is one of the industry and part of various plans and policies formed for the development and growth of the tourism industry. The various steps have been taken to improve the standards of the industry, such as formation of Department of Tourism and later formation of the separate ministry. Over the period, tourism industry has grown through different phases and opened up different organizations like ITDC, TFCI, etc. to improve tourism in India. Thank you.